Assalamu alaikum. Today, date 1st November 2020, we have done a news special editor, which is very important. I will read this editor page. I will explain difficult words in simple language in English, especially. Definitely, this is very important editor for the content especially. So let's start. Before starting editor page, please do, if you didn't do subscribe my YouTube channel, please do subscribe, like, comment, share. So let's start. Politicizing terrorism. Politicizing means act of political terrorism means association terrorism and extremism. We can say that countering the threat of terrorism requires accurate means very well at good assessment. Countering means to fight with each other. Threat means situation, danger. Political resolve long-term strategy means any plan, any strategy means it we can say that is plan that can be resolved and resilient in science, security, and law enforcement structure. Resilient science, security, these problems structures would be resolved means to solve. Terrorist movements means campaigns of terrorist strike back means hit back when a given movement to brethren. Whenever given movement means whenever opportunity, whenever a campaign to be given to brethren. A decline terrorist violation has several reasons. It means that reduction of terrorist violations has many reasons. Declare means reduction, but it's too early declared victory. It's too early declared means announce victory means to celebrate victory or winner victorious unless terrorist network are completely dismantled. The network or terrorist dismantles means to break. The terrorists apply both operational and political strategy to unnerve security and apparatus. It means that terrorists they apply both tools, which operational and political strategy. For instance, Baloch insurgents means, and we can say a person who involves in any activity. Baloch insurgent groups perpetrators means do very bad, do illegal small scale terrorist attacks. It's also known and sabotage means to destroy the activities frequently and conduct means to do major high impacts means very bad impacts attacks sporadically. They may even disappear means something that's not shown for some time and then then carry out surprise attacks. Surprise means sudden attacks. In September, Baloch groups did not perpetrate. In September, it was talking about especially September, in which Baloch groups didn't perpetrate means they didn't do any illegal a single attack in the province, which created an impressive of stabilizations. Impressive means something that's related to the imperative stabilize means to make strong steady. But in October they struck back with lethal attacks. Struck back means they came back their own platforms. Lethal means to weaken the attacks means to attack simple, usually religiously inspired means to be encouraged. Terrorist groups in Pakistan have enough human resources, enough means a lot of and interest in their attacks. Interest means they involved in their attacks and could have other causes means reasons. However, when there are breaks means to some little space interest or less violence, the government, political parties, and security institutions seem relaxed. Means perhaps relaxed or confused about the threat. This gives the terrorists some breather space to plan and carry out means to resume more attacks. They know when to man our political situation and add to crisis means it could create crisis means and which lack of resources. We can say that crisis means cut down of resources. Very simple. A significant means very important. Upsurge means the situation which creates during the last couple of weeks saw several incidents of terrorism being reported from different parts of the country. The Tariq Taliban Pakistan Baloch insurgents means involved in that group insurgent means or any person that involved in that group and violent sectarian means to act of secting means sect. We can say that a person who believes in a religious also in a sect. So groups were reportedly involved in these attacks. Involved means to be participated, to be in a part of it of that attacks. The Tehreek Taliban target a military convey with a remote controlled blast means to drop a bomb in the Razamak area of northern Western, in which 6 army soldiers including a captain were martyred. Means he was sacrificed their lives in Balochistan. Bras and alliance means a group of people that involved in any group to do any act of Baloch insurgents group targeted a convoy of security forces escorting GDCL employees from Gwadar to Karachi. 7 FCG soldiers as many private security guards were martyred. Terrorist group thrive in times of political crisis. Crisis means situation danger, which can say in which the lack of resources that have been dubbed and then have been ebbed. Definitely it could create crisis. Another incident, terrorists opened fire on a patrolling party of security forces southern of the Turbat. However, 2 other attacks created the impression that terrorism and had returned means come back while one of these attacks took place in Peshawar's madrasa, causing several casualties means in which people were died. That incident reported casualty means any kinds of incidents in which people died, we can say casualties. And fears means dread. The other targeted civilians means citizens. Hazargani Kohita at a time when an opposition rally was underway a few kilometers away. Unfortunately, the treasury and opposition exploit means they exploit they do very bad such attacks for political purposes. Some believe the government uses security alert as a tool to create a fear among the political workers of the opposition parties. Many in the Pakistan democratic movement but conspiracy means to be conspiracy means to do something like we can say in simple to do any campaign to start any campaign against anyone else. Theories around these attacks. At the same time, once again the externalization factor are involved of a foreign hand in these attacks was exploited out of proportion. The militant means military landscape of the country is a complex means something that's very to be we can say multiple matter. For one, the TTP is the operational strength. Pakistan Taliban's operational strength means strong has increased enhanced manifold after its former splinter means to break groups and several other Somali militant groups and commanders recently merged means to be combined with it's evident that the military have been increasing their presence and activities in their tribal districts for several months, while our counterterrorism its our department focus was warning militants wasted no time in exploiting means to do very to exploit something else. This mistake means error. In the same times, the TTP militants taking shelter in Afghanistan. Shelter means take a place in which they take like refuge, we can say, have regularly carried out means to resume means continue attacks in the Waziristan district either by crossing the border or through their operative present in parts of the tribal districts. Similarly, the Similarly, the terrorist threat from Al Qaeda and the militant Islamic State ISIL group still roams large in the region. Communal and sectarian. Sectarian means a person who follows to be in sectarian violence is on the rise. Rise means to increase, and of late sectarian tensions have also flared. Flared means it has grows up, it has risen up. The recent incidents of sectarian violence however have more than local contrast. The country has seen in the throes of the sectarian tension since the month of the Muharram, and when Shia and Sunni clans indulged in a sectarian later hate speech, hate means abhor. In this backdrop, underrating the terrorism threat is nothing short of a daydream. And examination of the blast means to drop a bomb in Peshawar's Zabriya Madrasa is enough to understand means to get it the gravity means very bad. Gravity means the situation which was very bad. We can say that situation was to be gravity and the complexity of the terrorist threat means act as a threat, cause any harm. The principal Sheikh Rahim Haqqani is an Afghan national, a graduate of the leading Deobandi Hanafi Madrasa Jamia Haqqaniya Akhura Khatak. He has a history of sectarian confirmation with those subscribing to the Salafi sect means sectarian. This has led him to oppose IS, some unconfirmed that's not confirmed, that's not sure. Reports indicate him to sign out his close association with the Afghan Taliban, which if true make this anonymity with ISI understandable something that's to be able to understand is ISI is suspect means giving out to be involved in any act to be behind the attack, though it has not accepted responsibility. It means that the ISI didn't accept his responsibility. The group has also not found to have been involved in any terrorist activity for the last 4 years in the city. If ISI were involved, because here writer used to were, because if you talk about something else, like imagine you use were. If I were president of Pakistan, then definitely I will do each and everything. In that case we can use were. If ISI were involved in the attack, it was to be said in imagine way. It would mean means it have meaning that a new threat has emerged means to be increased in Capi's capital city. The TTB has condemned means disapprove the attack for obvious means clear reason for sectarian offense means related to the blood with the madrasa, but in the recent month it has been used IEDs effectively in the terrorist operation. It's not an exclusive tactic or weapon of choice for the TTV, and there are many other criminals means a person who is involved in crime and sectarian groups and hostile foreign agencies that use it. Such devices are even used in tribal and family feuds means to be like feudal. If ISI or TTP were not involved in the attack, it would have been an isolated one, but the increasing operational capabilities of the TTP cannot be ignored. Ignored means something that cannot be declined. Or increasingly, the TTP has refused the security alerts issued by the National Counter-Terrorism Authority about the possible targeting of the opposition parties leadership and their rallies. This could be seen as political gimmick means something that's related to the any game played by the TTP to exacerbate, means make worse the ongoing political crisis in the country. Terrorist group thrive in times of political crisis when their narrative comes more attracted to frustrate, means to hindrance and marginalized, means to be combined segments, means parts of the society only concentrate on the revival of its operational capabilities, means having capability, but also try to do any act and regain the political legitimacy of its narrative. Legitimacy means inherently the political our play with regard to security related issues both by the government and opposition will only benefit the terrorist. Politicizing threat will affect the moral and capacity of police and the terrorism departments and lead them definitely, and where we got sorry it would consider there lead them a political our place that lead them to avoid the terrorism incident, blaming the external forces for them. So I hope this article will be more helpful for you. This is related to the security analysis security. This is the article is related to the security. So this article very important for any competitive exam point of view. So if you like this article, please do subscribe, like, comment, share. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care of it.